What's up, everybody, and welcome to a snow-filled Monday. Yeah, that's what we got right outside the door here is snow, ice, whatever you want to call it. Marky Model's here with me today, and he has a lot of snow. And I promise you he's going to tell you all about all of his snow plowing stories he's got. But we're going to get into all of the stories that are surrounding the Super Bowl now that we have not the Chargers. Oh, I got Marky Model on my mind. The Seahawks taking on the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Should be a good one. It's going to be very defensive minded. We're going to get into all of that, how to attack the Super Bowl. But before we get too far down the road, let's go ahead and take a look back at how we did yesterday. And look at this. Not a good showing. But it was so close. A lot of these plays came down to very, very close toward the very end. And I know I missed on one of mine where my guy had 2 targets. All he needed to do is catch one, and he could not catch one pass. But in the end of the day, that's how it goes. So a losing weekend overall, but we continue to move on. But we're going to have a fun day. We're going to give you our plays. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl just a little bit to start off. And then, as always, we're going to light the lamp as we get out of here. So I see you in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us, especially on this weird winter Monday that's happening right now. But let's go ahead and bring in Marky Model. What up, Mark?
Oh, listen, the temperature is certainly not. I'll give you that. It is cold, and yes, it is a ton of snow. Been snow blowing. I was running a little bit late getting here because I was out snow blowing. So we keep that driveway clear, nice and clean.
I think I have to do that. I actually just got a text from my wife asking if we're going to go sledding and meeting up with our friends. And if you know anything about Memphis at all, like we literally are not prepared for this. We don't even, I guarantee nobody in the city owns a snowblower. Okay. There's zero chance of that. I don't even know if we know what to do or how to drive on this stuff. And so I'm not even going to take a chance. We're even going to go down the road. And so maybe, well, you know what? We'll punt and we'll try for another day. But let's go ahead and talk about these games because we did see the Seahawks honestly just outlast the Rams and came up clutch defensively. So let's talk about that game because I think that's the more entertaining of the games. Okay. Did anything surprise you out of that Seahawks and the Rams game at all?
Well, you just kind of mentioned it, right? That Seahawks defense really clamped down when they needed to and preserved that win for them. I think the game script, I was going into this anticipating kind of a shootout type of game. Each offense would be going to be able to move the ball effectively against the others. Right. I was very surprised at the way Seattle's defense held up throughout the game.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we stand at is like looking at that defense for the Seattle, like they played really well throughout the entire season. But like it just seems against the Rams, other than that first matchup, the last matchup was a shootout. This was a shootout as well. But I think you have to lean on more of, hey, that's the Rams doing their thing. That's Puka Nacua. That's Devontae Adams, right? You're talking about Blake Corum, Kyron Williams. All of those guys like showed out throughout the entire game. And so I looked at that game and I see one side that had all of those. And then the other side is just JSN. Like, I don't think there's anybody. If you had to look at the Seahawks, would you take anybody other than JSN over any of the, we'll just say the skill positions, which is the receivers or the running backs? Would you take any of them over what you have on the Rams other than JSN?
Oh my God. Well, look, I think that Kenneth Walker he also had a decent game against the Rams. So, I think that from a 1-2 kind of, 1-2 punch standpoint, I think that they were doing it through the air and they were still effectively moving the ball on the ground. They used Walker a lot in passes, running back screens to open up that passing game. So I think that you have JSN, but I love the fact that Walker now is the focus in the running back for the running backs for Seattle. What's the shame? Who am I thinking of?
Charbonnet.
Is that with that dual-headed threat, Seattle never really had an identity, and I think so much of it comes down to getting into a rhythm, and especially for running backs, feeling that timing on the line when things are happening, and when you're rotating through running backs, you just don't get that feel.
Right, but look, Joe here is talking about he would take Kenneth Walker over Kyron Williams, which is very fair. And this is why I asked this question because one, I think that too. I think I do like Kenneth Walker a little bit more than Kyron Williams. But if you look and hear all those names, The next name that you would mention, other than Kenneth Walker and JSN, would have to be like maybe AJ Barner. Or
That's exactly where I was going.
Maybe Cooper Cup, right? Like, there's
Right.
not many. It's a big fall off. So what they're actually doing and able to continue to win just shows that defense is really good. Their scheme is really good. Also, Sam Darnold. So let me ask that question. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold that to the end. I'm glad I stopped myself because this is perfect. We're going to move over to the other game
All right.
because we do have Drake May taking on the Broncos is what happened, really. And honestly, it was a game that was the first drive of the Broncos looked really good. Like, everything was feeling good. They were feeling like first quarter Broncos, okay, we're okay. And then we have some mistakes, and then the snow comes in the second half. But overall, what's your take on that Broncos and Patriots game?
How the hell did we get the weather so wrong on that one? Right? I mean, we talked about this thing at first. We're like, oh, it's supposed to be, temperatures could be a little cold, but no precipitation. And second half rolls around and it's a flat out blizzard.
You're right.
It really did come down to, and I think that regardless of the snow, because we had two cold weather teams that are used to playing cold weather. I mean, that's just another day in Boston, with all the snow, especially with what we're getting right now. But I think that what I was so surprised with is how effective New England was at controlling the game. They controlled the tempo, they controlled field position, and they weren't, I think when the Broncos decided to go for it on fourth down instead of taking the field goal, and they end up, the turnover on downs, I think it took all the momentum away from that first half for the Broncos, and then when the weather just turned to crap, they couldn't get any momentum generated. So I was really surprised with New England.
Yeah, if you look at that game, I think Sean Payton now maybe going back into it, because I think that weather caught a lot of people off guard in a sense. And I don't know if that was for Denver as well, but Sean Payton, the coach of Denver, would have maybe went back and said, you know what, I should have taken those points early, knowing we had bad weather coming. I don't know if maybe he would have changed that, because he said, you know what, if we go up 14-0, you're talking about that weather's coming in. We can then play to hold them off. And so overall, I think he would do it differently, in my opinion. But in the end of the day, what I would do differently is not throw the ball with Jarrett Stidham there in 4th and 1. I would just run the ball and just see if we can somehow at least get a yard. And so that's where it comes down for me.
Where did tush push go? You know what I mean? You have all these other options to get that 1 yard. You don't have to have a backup quarterback who's playing his first game. And what a huge stage to come in, right, for your first game of the season. And now you're expecting him to be that calm under that kind of pressure to secure a pass like that. That's just, not the right play call.
And as Joe says, that play call, idiotic. All right, but let's go to the matchup, because now we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New England Patriots. And honestly, it's the first Super Bowl for both of these quarterbacks. So I want to target just them because we have a long time to go. Let's not go ahead and get everything out of the bag, right? Yeah. So I'm going to look at just Drake May, just Sam Darnold. You're starting a team. You have a team. They're really good. You have to play in the Super Bowl. You're picking everybody. It comes down to the quarterbacks. Who are you picking? If you had to choose either Sam Darnold or Drake May, who would you pick to win this game? I like that you're having to take a second.
Yeah, and it's so easy to make an argument for either side. It really is. Right. I think for me personally, I trust a Sam Darnold over a Drake May right now at this moment. I just think that what he has done this season, and again, against everybody's expectations, he has risen up to the top and has gotten his team to a Super Bowl. Right. That's, to me, that is absolutely mind-blowing. And he continues to just kind of take care of his own business and stay in his lane and get the job done. And we've seen it happen a couple times over the last 2 playoff games that the Seahawks have played, right? The first one, they didn't really need to use him, but he controlled the game and was very comfortable in that position. Against the Rams, it was more of a, hey, we need to rely on Darnold and his passing arm, and he came through for them there. And I think there's a lot of trust in that Seattle defense that I would take Darnold over Drake May.
Wow. Okay. I actually go the other way. I think Sam Darnold's good, and I believe in Sam Darnold now, but I still think he's so close to potentially being bad again. Like I don't think he hasn't shown enough to me. But I also look at the other side of Drake May, and I'm going to side with Kimberly White here, who's saying like I think that Drake May has all the tools in the shed to be a really good quarterback. He can also run. I think that he is young enough, in my opinion, in this instance, to still not be the best he can be. And so I know it's going into this Super Bowl, but I still would choose Drake May, even though he doesn't have, I guess, the long tenure as maybe Sam Darnold does. But I think that Drake May plays just well enough to outlast. And I think that, not to give a bold prediction just so early, I think that they have the wrong team favored in this game. I think that the Patriots should win this game. I believe in the Patriots to win outright just in the Super Bowl, but that's way down the road because everybody's piling on Seattle and saying, hey, Mickey Mouse championship, Mickey Mouse run in the AFC for the Patriots and Drake May. I think they've done what they have to do. Sometimes it's not always pretty. Sometimes it gets the job done.
And I agree with you. I think that, yesterday was a great example. Yes, there was the weather to contend with, but so far, kudos to the Patriots. 9 times on the road, they have won. I just think that in a lot says a lot about this team, both offensively and defensively, is that it doesn't matter where they play. But second, I just think that in the Super Bowl, I know it's in Northern California, but we're not going to be contending with snowfall in the Bay. If anything, it's going to be a cold rain if we have any sort of weather. But I expect both of these offenses to not be restricted and have to make adjustments because of the weather. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I hope that we have some clear weather for the Super Bowl because I think it would really give these offenses a chance to shine against 2 formidable defenses, and it really will be the best team that wins.
Yeah, and I think Nate G says it right. I'm just so happy. Like, they've been suffering for so long, those Patriots fans. Just happy they could finally see a winner. You know what? F them. But yes, I still think that they're the better team. But F the Patriots. Like, they didn't have to. I'm sucking for the last 30 years at this point. Like, Cowboys have been good since the 90s. Why were they on my television? Why did that have to happen to me? Listen, I'm still mad about it.
And the closest my Chargers have been is to your Freudian slip earlier. So that is what it is.
Well, JSN does have a Cowboys star on his bicep tattooed. So, hey, at least the Cowboys in some form or fashion are going to be at the Super Bowl. I'm going to ask you this, and we're going to end on this one before we get to our picks here. The favorite and the over has come in only 3 times in the Super Bowl since 2000 from Joe. Look at this stat. Do you like this?
That
would be the Seahawks and the over. I don't even know what the number is just yet.
I don't have it either. I'll have it later this afternoon because all of our sims are running right now, given what who's out as of today and et cetera, waiting on injury reports. But
it's showing 46 is the number right there.
I think that again, it's going to be one of those games like we saw yesterday with the Rams and the Seahawks, and I think that the Seahawks will try to control the tempo offensively, which is going to force the Patriots' hand a little, and try to force them into playing a catch-up, play from behind type game. I think the over 46 is a great look offensively. I think we get the extended half times. So I think that, there's more adjustments that can be made. There's things that teams can do. I am a little concerned about the favorite, though, because while I think Seattle should win this game, it's hard to bet against the Patriots at this point, isn't it? I mean, how do you do it? You just take the Patriots in the points and hope that they cover.
Yeah, that's what we can do. We'll have all of this throughout the entire next 2 weeks as we belabor the point of the Super Bowl. But that's what we're all waiting for. We've gone through this entire NFL season to get to this point. We're going to continue to go. And yes, that long extended halftime, that's a Bad Bunny halftime this year. So we're going to make sure we have a full breakdown of the Bad Bunny concert. No, we're not. But what we have a full breakdown of is some Bassett blends.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors: original, hot, and no salt. That's going to turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
Talk about locks every single night. This is a spot that I love because Anaheim is going into Edmonton. They're on the second night of a back-to-back, and I am going to take the Oilers to score at least one power play goal. It's a little juicy at minus 130, but here's why I love this, because it lines up perfectly for a special teams angle. When you figure the Ducks are coming into this and they needed overtime to win in Calgary last night, that equates to one thing: tired legs. And when tired legs show up, fatigue sets in. The first thing to drop is your discipline. And that's already been a problem for the Ducks team when they're not playing back-to-back games. The Ducks are a minus 19 when it comes to a penalty differential when they're away from home, which tells you that they're constantly chasing play. They're reaching, they're putting themselves short-handed, right? You flip it to Edmonton, and this is where the matchup really tilts, because at home, the Oilers' power play is still the engine that drives everything that they do. Over the last 6 weeks, they played 25 games. In those 25 games, they've generated 80 power play opportunities, and they've scored in 30% of those opportunities. That is elite efficiency, and that's not fluky. It's driven by McDavid and Draisaitl, who can control the pace, control the spacing, puck movement, and they're better at that than anybody else in the league. We're not asking Edmonton to dominate here 5-on-5 or win by a margin or, whatever, team total goals. No, we're simply asking for one moment where Anaheim's tired legs lead to a penalty and Edmonton does what it's built to do. Given the Ducks' road discipline and how lethal the Oilers are with the man advantage at home, this is a clean roll-based prop that doesn't need much to get there. And that's what I'm playing tonight.
Seriously. Quacka hacks. Get the out of here. Ducks win by I was gonna say 15. I bet it's 13 tonight. All right, let's go with Matas Buzelis. We're gonna go over 2.5 assists plus 190. I don't know if you are watching, but we might have found a little Cam Spencer cover for a plus 190 this weekend. So yeah, while everybody else 2-2, 1-3. I had a plus 190 cash on my 2-2, so I was on the positive side. That's called a little positive regression, I think. But let's go ahead and look at this. He has 3+ assists in 5 straight games. I love playing trends in the NBA. I also love them in the in baseball, just because yes, matchups do matter. But I think when you are an athlete and you can affect the game a certain way, I believe that you actually can play the certain trends. Because he has 3+ assists in 5 straight games, we're not looking for a minus 125, minus 140 line. We're talking about getting 3 assists at plus 190. It's a great value play. 9 out of the last 10 games, he's had 2+ assists. So it's not like he's having 0, 0, 0, then all of a sudden 3s. He's having 2s, a 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. That's what he's doing. We're going to play this over 2.5 assists, and we're going to cash on a plus 190. Let's go talk to this guy again. The little quacka hacks, Mark.
Really? You just came in with the 2-2-2, 3-3-3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Quacka hacks.
I love it. The quacka hacks. They're gonna be tired. They're gonna be giving penalties away.
Anyway, yes, we're gonna keep on rolling through this little boozy vert. I saw Danimal say. I love that. And then Nate G says a Draisaitl goal at plus 105.
Yeah.
Speaking of a Draisaitl goal, maybe, just maybe, he might be on the light the lamp. So let's go look at this thing and see what we got today. And look
at that.
Little different odds.
Yeah.
Maybe things have changed since it's been made.
Yeah, that was this morning.
Okay,
that was this morning at 7:30 when we got the list put together for the light the lamp. So I am sure that when people realized that his and McDavid's line, I think McDavid's line is now like a minus 105 or minus 110. So both of these guys have moved tremendously this afternoon.
All right, what are we looking at here? We got a Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, We got a geek and Morgan Geeky, and then Bo Horvat. But that sounds American to me because this guy doesn't. And Adam Fanta. Adam Fanta, do you wanna? Adam Fanta, do you wanna? I think that's got to be his new song. What are you liking here? Lighting the lamp.
Well, I do have to make one small amendment to this because Adam Fantilli plays for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Columbus Blue Jackets game got canceled tonight because of the weather. So he's automatically, you cannot find the Columbus Blue Jacket player props anymore.
Doesn't work. That sucks.
I would, as a replacement, I would look at Mika Zibanejad for the Rangers, who's playing against Morgan Geeky and the Boston Bruins tonight. Love his metric, love his performance history, especially against the Bruins. But for me, how do you not take McDavid? And that's who I played earlier this morning, was Connor McDavid to score a goal. I just think that we're going to see a lot of penalties. He and Draisaitl do control the tempo, push the pace for everything. And not only is McDavid going to light the lamp, but he's going to cash my power play ticket as well.
All right, Mark. Well, let's figure out who these fellers play for. And I see Nate G just wrote in here, Horvat is Canadian, so that sucks. First question, do we have an American on the board?
No.
All right. 0 for 1.
I think, or unless Morgan Geeky is. I don't.
All right, chat, let us know. We need to know.
Yeah, somebody look up Morgan Geeky real quick.
We need to look and see if we have an American real quick. All right, who's in the Oilers? Is that Connor McDavid?
Yeah, Geeky made Team Canada, so he's out.
All right, Geeky's Canadian too. All right, so we have no American, and you said the guy is Oiler, so that's got to be McDavid, right?
Yeah.
Who's the okay? So we're not going to go with him because they're playing the Anaheim Ducks. So let's go with somebody. Let's.
Your Cutter Gauthier is a good look.
Gold chain is a good look. Should we ask my friend?
How do we not at this point?
All right, let's ask Cutter Gold Chain if he's gonna light the lamp for us tonight. So, Mr. Magic 8-Ball with no crown because you suck forever, is he gonna hit it? It is certain.
That's a plus 225 play.
The gold chain lights the lamp tonight. He can't be American, right? There's no way.
Cutter Gauthier?
Yeah, he's not. You can't have an American name. That's not Smith or Jones.
He could have been an American just with a ethnic background that might be French.
I don't even know how to spell his name. Cutter Gauthier.
Gauthier.
We know if he's American. Somebody let us know. He's an American professional ice hockey player.
There you go.
There you go. American.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Well, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna go with Cutter Gold Chain for plus 2,000.
That's right.
What it is.
As Kim says, Smith and Jones don't play hockey.
Who is this? That all right, Robbie. What is he doing?
I think
that's not even real.
No, I think he
pushed an extra letter or two.
I know he's at home with the boys, so he might have already been tipping into the bourbon a little bit.
All right, Marat Kusnudinov. No, yeah. I don't even know. Yeah, you got me. But Nate G brings up something he has here. Gutzel and Keller are playing an American. Who do they play for? Are they Stars?
Gunsel and Keller. I thought Keller was on. Isn't he on the Blue Jackets? And that game has got canceled.
I don't know.
Gunther plays for Utah. Oh no, Keller plays for Utah as well. And they're playing tonight at Tampa Bay.
Nice. All right. Well, I remember looking at remember the names of the teams. Here we go. Tampa is Gutzel and Keller is Mammoth. Gutzel, he's American too.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dylan Gunther. Gunther.
Yeah, I gotta stop asking you. I gotta ask the guy who spelled Kuskundinov about these people if they're American or Russian. We gotta figure that out. All right. So that's going to be the light the lamp. So I'm going with Cutter Gold Chain, and you're going with who again?
Connor McDavid.
All right. Well, maybe they'll light the lamp for us today. How you feeling about getting to where the sports are going to be a little less, especially with less about football, with the Super Bowl coming just 2 weeks away? Like after that, how are you feeling right now leading up to the Super Bowl? We're going to hit on the Super Bowl a little.
Yeah.
But the topics, it's going to be very heavy NHL, very heavy on, just NCAA basketball and the NBA. Are you worried we're going to be able to get through this thing without the NFL?
No, I really am not. And I think that on a couple different fronts here,
Okay.
I think that where we have been at has been, I don't want to say holding things back a little bit, but it's definitely slowed the pace for adding leagues and adding a broader base for justicestatsports.com. We're getting ready to unroll a brand new makeover where we're going to have some UFC and MMA projections on there. The model went what 8-3 or 7-3. I'd have to double check on Saturday night with the model predictions there. And I just think that looking at different sports leagues, opening things up a little bit, it's going to be great because we don't feel so siloed in our focus when it comes to just hockey, college basketball, NBA, and waiting for more things to happen. There's plenty happening now. We have the Olympics taking place too, so there's going to be some spot for an Olympics tab where you can follow and see any model projections we have for the Olympics. But I also think it gives us a chance, and I know you and I have been absolutely loving the NBA stuff that we've been using on the site with the first half over-under projections.
Yeah.
Those things, they've been I keep getting messages from people that use them. They're just like, this thing is gold. So thank you. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, Joe's saying Mark can talk about anything. I do believe that 100%. And then Miss Ken's ready for her pitchers and catchers to report very, very, very soon. So we're going to be, obviously getting on all that. I assume March, right? They got to be reporting in February.
February.
They start playing in March.
Yeah.
March.
Baseball kicks off the last week of March is when they start. But yeah, the pitchers and catchers report, I believe it's like the middle of February 14th, February 15th, something like that. It's not a large window that we're without, right? I mean, it's going to be all Super Bowl,
right?
And then literally pitchers and catchers, and we start shifting gears towards Major League Baseball and Stanley Cup playoffs, the NBA playoffs, March Madness, St. Patrick's Day, Groundhog's Day.
What are we doing? Well, yeah, come on. But yes, I think, and I think something we're going to do is fun. And it literally just hit me, and I hope that everybody is on board. We're going to do our favorite NFL prop, Super Bowl prop every day while we're on the show. Just throwing it out there, something we come across, because I know that if we need them, they're out there. There's so many out there. So I'm going to challenge us. Come up with an NFL Super Bowl prop every day just to share that with the fun. Let's have some fun along the way. So, so we have, we're going to have plenty of days to talk through this. So let's go ahead. We're going to present in the chat. If you have one, love to hear it. Love to be able to, obviously partake in all of this. And so if you see a fun one, and then honestly, it could be the easy ones. I know the coin flip, but there's got to be some out there that kind of just sheds some light on them, and it should be some fun. Sia Najad is here. Look at this guy. Favorite Super Bowl tails.
Right. I was going to say heads.
Just because it never fails. Sia. We know you. We know you. But yes, the national anthem is always a hot one, over under 2.5 minutes. And then I'd assume that we're going to get Gatorade. Yeah, Gatorade color. Look at Robbie's thinking like I'm thinking. The Gatorade color. All of these are fun. So every day we're going to bring one here, and maybe we bring more than one from each. Who knows? We'll see. But I know that our guy, the numbers guy, Rafael Esparza, is making over supposed to be around 3,000 total for all of these, which is nuts. And so we're going to dig through them. We're going to find some good ones, and we're going to make sure we share them with all of you. But thank you all for hanging out with us. It has been obviously a snowy, frigid, cold. I'm not used to this, and I don't love it. Let me just explain that and make sure everybody's aware. This isn't for me. I'm not built for this weather. I want to sweat. Give me some of that. But hopefully everybody is staying safe out there and enjoying the time that maybe you normally don't get with the family. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Have a good time. Go sledding. Go try to hurt yourself if you can.
I was just going to say, it's like one of our guys, Preston. Good old Boom Boom is without power right now. So,
right.
And they're saying it could be for a couple of days before they get power restored. So I hope that people are staying safe and warm, and reach out for help, please.
And if you need help, Robbie, holla. He's been locked in way too long. But thank you all for hanging out with us again. And hopefully you're having a good day out there. Hopefully we're making your day even better when you're hanging with us. But we'll see you all tomorrow.